What's up, everybody? Nick from Mossy Creek with this week's fishing forecast. Today is Monday, March 28th. We've been in a really cold, windy spell of weather for the last few weeks. It looks like it's finally going to stop as we get to the end of this week. Wednesday, Thursday, looks like things start to transition over a little bit. We might get a good bit of rain on Thursday, so just keep an eye out for that. They're calling for potentially severe thunderstorms. So if we get some that stick up in certain places in the mountains or down here in the valley, we could have pretty high water for a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that, but it looks like in the next week or two we're going to get back to warm weather. Breeze should fall down a little bit, and we should have good conditions. Up in the mountain streams, we're starting to see some bugs. In the next month or so, we'll start to see our March browns. Usually our bugs will be a little bit stronger over on the east slope of the Blue Ridge and kind of work their way across the valley, which is what we're seeing. A lot of caddis coming off, even some little yellow stones. So over the next few weeks, make sure that you have some of those specific patterns like the caddis and the stones, but also just a lot of your attractor dry flies. The cherry limeade that we got in is a great attractor dry. It floats really well, so it's perfect for dry droppers. That's a really good way to fish for the next few weeks in the mountain streams. Before the dry fly fishing gets really, really hot, having that dropper for the fish that aren't willing to come up can be super effective. If you got a good day and they're eating off the top good, you just cut that nymph off and you're good to go, but it never hurts to work both of those water columns. The hothead pheasant tail that we've carried for a long time in orange, that's been super popular. We got in a new pink bead, so pretty cool new fly that some of those fish haven't seen. It might be worth picking up. Mountain streams look great, maybe just below or right at average flow. So we'll see what Thursday does. Should really set us up well into the spring. The valley is looking pretty similar with a lot of our spring creeks, Mossy Creek, Beaver Creek, Spring Run. I've gotten a lot of great reports from folks out fishing over the last few days. The people who are willing to go out into the wind and fish anyway were rewarded. We got some off-color water in Mossy, which has been great for streamer fishing, dark, heavy flies. It's nice to not be as worried about fish spooking as easy. You can fish those undercuts, get into places without having to crawl around as much. So take advantage of that. Thursday, like I said, it could get a little bit muddier with that rain, which should really only play to that advantage more. When we start to see less winds, we'll think a little bit more about surface action. We're seeing some caddis pretty often on Mossy, a lot of emerger patterns and dry patterns, 401k betas that we have. That's a great little olive pattern that's good for having on the spring creeks for that occasional fish that's rising. So like I said, stock up mainly subsurface for the next week or so, but then we should start to see surface action get even better over the next couple weeks. We didn't do a lot of warm water fishing this week just with the high winds. When we were out last week, we started to see muskie moving towards the spawn. Typically April is kind of their window for that, and we'll lay off of them and let them do their thing. As we warm up, smallmouth are going to start to spread out. So, mid-April is typically quite good as our smallmouth leave their winter holes and start to stage for the spawn. You'll find them getting a little bit hungrier, spreading out into a lot more water and not be quite as concentrated. So we'll keep an eye on the rain coming Thursday, see what that does to everything. We're excited about less wind, warmer temperatures. But overall, we feel really good about the spring. We've got good water to start. We keep getting more. It should just keep us in great shape. So as always, if you got questions, come in the shop. We're happy to talk over the phone too anytime, send you to specific places, answer more specific questions that you have. We'll see you next week.